Hello there and welcome to another interesting episode of the interview. Today, I'm so delighted to have Dipo Adesina, who is a cryptocurrency guru that will be sharing with us about what cryptocurrency is. There are a lot of thoughts about cryptocurrency. So in case you have been wondering, what is this whole talk about cryptocurrency? We have someone who is an expert in this field and who trains people that has agreed to, be part of this interview. And I believe this is going to be beneficial to a lot of people. So I encourage you to ask him the questions. This is a real opportunity, I can tell you. So I'm so delighted to have you, Dipo, join me today on this episode of the interview. Hey, Dipo, are you with me? Hi, Dipo, are you with me? Can you hear me? All right, it looks like we are having some technical.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Seth.
All right.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's kind of there seems to be some kind of delay in the
Yes, I
broadcast.
am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Yes, I can hear you, but I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. There seems to be some kind of delay. I don't know what's happening. There seems to be a delay in the broadcast. And it looks like Deepo, do you have maybe you
Okay.
should try.
I think there is a delay in the broadcast.
Yeah, do you want to sign out and try to log in again, maybe with another gadget? This seems to be there seems to be some internet problem, connectivity problem right now.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
Okay,
can
give me
just
one second. Give me one second. Let
yeah,
me
if
log
you
out.
can log.
Should I try my phone?
Yeah, try your phone. Let's see that. Yeah, please try your phone. All right, so I'm here with Deepo. Deepo will be back. I will be talking about cryptocurrency, which is something that is so big right now in the world. And I thought of bringing Deepo, who is an expert who has been training a lot of people with very wonderful results. So Deepo will be back and we'll have a very wonderful conversation about this. And you also have an opportunity to connect with Deepo in case you want him to personally train you. He's a trainer. He's not only an expert in cryptocurrency, but he is also someone that trains people, of course, not for free. So this is an opportunity for you to take advantage of, and I will encourage you to really take advantage of this wonderful opportunity to learn all you can about cryptocurrency. And if you have the means to also, register with Deepo, we'll be talking about, he will be giving a special offer today based because I'm hosting him on this program. He will be giving you some special offer today, which I will encourage you to take advantage of. So as soon as Deepo is back, we'll be having this conversation. I think Deepo is back right now. This looks better. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, this looks better. Is this your phone?
No, this is still my computer.
All right. So whatever you did, I think it's working now.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
So I'm so delighted to have you join me for this wonderful conversation, Deepo.
My pleasure.
Let me say here that Dipo is a Nigerian American, and he's an expert, just as I said, in cryptocurrency. I call him the crypto guru, and you will be learning from him. So, without further ado, let's start by asking the basic questions, right? For a layman, what is cryptocurrency?
Excellent question, Seth. Can you hear me clearly?
Clearly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
I can hear
perfect.
you. Yeah.
So just the simplest way to explain cryptocurrency is that cryptocurrency is digital money, all right? Or you can equally call it digital assets. So the same way you would look at maybe stocks as an asset, where you're able to build a portfolio, you're also able to build different cryptocurrencies. A good way to explain this is to most people have heard of Bitcoin. Bitcoin happens to be the very first cryptocurrency that was put out there back in 2009. And the purpose of Bitcoin was really to serve as online money. In other words, if I wanted to send money to Seth in Philadelphia or wherever he is, I didn't physically have to go into a bank to do that transaction. So the purpose of Bitcoin was I can send it almost instantly to Seth without having to go through a middleman. So that's technically what cryptocurrency is in its nature.
All right, so that is what cryptocurrency is. It is not money that you see physically, but it is money that can you can use, you can translate, you can do transaction with,
Absolutely.
and get physical money if you want. So
Yes.
one of the things we know about cryptocurrency, which I want you to talk about, is the fact that this is a very risky business, at least where it is. Cryptocurrency is risky. Talk to me a little bit about the risks involved in cryptocurrency.
Sure. So because it's a very the nature of cryptocurrency is that it's very volatile, which means that you can see a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, which it did maybe about 3 weeks ago, hit like 63,000. And within another week or so, it dropped from 63,000 there about, I think, 61,000 or so, and dropped to $1,000. That is really about almost what? A little over more than $10,000, right? So that means that a person who invests in one whole Bitcoin at 60 something $1,000, the value of your asset just dropped that fast. Okay. Now there's so many factors controlling the volatility of cryptocurrency. And I always tell people, Seth, that just because the value of your asset dropped low does not mean that you've lost money. Okay. You sell at a loss. So prime example is that you bought Bitcoin at 61,000, it dropped to 47,000, and then you sold at $47,000. That's how you lose money. But in the grand scheme of things, or thinking long term, because of what cryptocurrency is doing and how it's reshaping how we view money and the financial industry, regardless of the volatility that we see now, the truth of the matter is that of cryptocurrency as a whole will continue to increase over time, regardless of the volatility that we see in the short or medium term.
So, cryptocurrency, there is a lot of volatility, which to some extent, every business is has some kind of risks, right? Even life
Definitely.
itself, even life is it's a risk to a
Exactly.
greater extent, but it's usually good. And I love the fact that you don't hide the risks to people. You usually say it as it is, that this is something you have to have some guts for you to be able to, get involved in cryptocurrency. If your risk level, it all depends on your risk level, right? If you are someone that does not want to take risks, probably this is not the right business for you. But if you really want to do this, the word must be put out there that this is something that has risks, which has, so it goes both ways, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You have high chances of making profits, and you also have chances of losing. But just like Dipo said, you only lose in cryptocurrency when you sell. If you don't sell, you don't lose, right? So the loss only comes.
Absolutely.
The loss only comes when you sell, when you decide, well, I bought Bitcoin at $60,000, now it's 40,000, and you start freaking out and you sell. That is when you lose. But
Exactly.
if you bought Bitcoin at $60,000 and it goes to $40,000 and you refuse to sell it, there are chances that it may still climb up and go back to $70,000. In that sense, you have not lost. Uh, so
Absolutely.
so compare. I want you to compare cryptocurrency with gambling. Somebody may be listening to this and be wondering, isn't this some kind of gambling? So I want you to contrast that.
Sure. The cryptocurrency is not a gamble. Remember, we talked about the utility value of cryptocurrency. Now, one of the things I must say, Seth, is that there are more than 9,500 cryptocurrencies. Okay. 70% of scams. Okay. Which means if you put money into it, you'll lose it. Every cryptocurrency coin is a project, or what we would call in business a company. All right. Which means that they are out there to solve a problem in society. So it's not gambling. It's almost saying that, hey, invest in Amazon stock or invest in Google stock. That's the equivalent when it comes to cryptocurrency. All right. So instead of stocks, we have coins or tokens. Okay. So tokens basically means that this project. All right. So technically speaking, cryptocurrency is not a gamble. What is a gamble is if you invest in a project, for example, that has no utility value, nobody knows about it, and you're hoping that the value will increase. That's when it becomes a gamble, because at that point, you're taking what I call uncalculated risk. Okay. But one of the things that I usually teach my students, Seth, is that in the cryptocurrency world, you have to have what I call investment point of view. All right. Most people who lose money think short term. In 2009, one Bitcoin was 9 cents. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cents, 10, less than a quarter. Okay. Now we have people that were patient enough to hold on to those Bitcoin up until today. That's why we have a lot of people multimillionaires because of patience and long-term thinking. So for cryptocurrency, don't view it as
Hey,
a
Dipo.
gamble.
Hello. I don't know, for some reasons I don't expect to have. I wasn't expecting to have some of this internet problem. You are saying something that
Okay.
is so valuable, but your connectivity still it keeps seizing. Do you mind logging out and trying it with your phone? Maybe we may have
Yeah.
a better connectivity.
Let
Please
me
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah, please
Let me
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't go nowhere. I'm still having a wonderful conversation with Dipo Adesina, who is a cryptocurrency guru, a trainer who has been doing this, and he trains a lot of people, and there are a lot of testimonies. I'll be asking him about some of the testimonies that some of his students have been given. And so I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. Just as I said, just follow this program to the end. Deepo is gonna give us some special offer for anyone that wants to be trained by him. He will be giving some special offer. So don't go nowhere. It looks like this is better.
Can you hear me very clearly?
This is clear. Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you. This is
All
better.
right.
So you were saying something before I interjected. Do you remember what you were saying?
Yeah, I was talking about the long term, having a long term mindset in cryptocurrency versus trying to get rich quick. Um,
Uh-huh.
when you said the word gambling, those who gamble are usually those who get in today and they want to make $1 million tomorrow, and usually they get involved in so many cryptocurrencies that overpromise but they underdeliver. So, as an investor, intelligent investor, you want to get into projects that have previous track record. They're currently doing great, and they're also futuristic. Okay, when you invest in those types of companies, you are 100% guaranteed that your investment is secured.
Uh-huh.
Versus gambling and getting into so many different cryptocurrencies that you can potentially lose all your money in.
So take us. Stories are very powerful, right? Take us a little bit down memory lane. How did you stumble on this venture? Have you always been a crypto guru? How tell us a little bit about your story with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I got into crypto in 2016, and even then, I really didn't understand fully what it was about. I think Bitcoin was trading around maybe $600 at that time. And it was actually a friend of mine who was in Nigeria who wanted to buy goods in China. And the way for him to do that was to use cryptocurrency, right? Because it was easier means of transfer or sending money. So because I had access to the different platforms here in the United States, I was able to buy the cryptos for him. I put a markup on it, and then I made my profit. So that was my introduction into the world of crypto. Even at that time, the only coin that people were talking about was Bitcoin, but today we have 9,000 different coins, right? So that was my initial introduction into the world of cryptocurrency.
Hmm. Wow. And how will you describe that using an adjective, your experience?
Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Because I've been able to see not just things happen in my life, but more importantly, the people I've been able to work with and coach and mentor to see. I mean, the results are just remarkable. And, one of the things I always say, Seth, is that cryptocurrency is the biggest wealth transfer of our time,
Huh.
because you can have ordinary people with zero knowledge, meaning they don't know anything about cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden, when they get involved, learn that in the industry, they're able to start with small capital, and over a period of time build a portfolio that's in 10, 15, 20, $30,000, just because they have a long-term mindset.
Huh. Let's talk about, usually when people hear about cryptocurrency, I believe at some point, I was also thinking about it this way. When people hear about cryptocurrency, they feel this is some kind of Ponzi, right? This is another, Ponzi kind of a scam that is going on. I want you to talk a little bit about. You have tried to contrast, cryptocurrency with gambling. How can you contrast that with Ponzi? How different is it?
Yeah, so like I said, I think the biggest thing that people need to understand is that cryptocurrency, it's is a standalone terminology in itself. You do not have cryptocurrency coins or projects, right? Bitcoin was a project, Ethereum, Litecoin. These are quote unquote, in a way that people understand, they are companies, all right? They are project companies they are real people working on solutions to solve different problems. Some are in the financial sector, some are in real estate, some in just different angles, right? Now, when you have that mindset that's what cryptocurrency is about, that it changes your narrative from thinking about cryptocurrency as a scam. Now, there was a time, for example, Seth, where institutional investors, meaning banks, companies, were shying away from Bitcoin. All right. Back in 2007, 2018, 2017, and 18, they didn't want to hear anything about Bitcoin. It was too risky. Now, the same people that didn't want to hear anything about Bitcoin are the same people investing billions of dollars into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I always tell people that anytime you have billionaires, companies investing into something, that you want to start paying attention. And like I said, if you're not in the cryptocurrency space, it's very easy to think that it's a Ponzi scheme or somebody's trying to get away with your money. But like I said, 60 to 70% of all the cryptocurrencies out there are just that. They're scams. And if you don't know what you're doing, you'll lose a lot of money.
So two follow-up questions to that. First, you talked about famous people getting involved in cryptocurrency. One of the famous people we know is Elon Musk, who has, played a significant role in the past couple of months, by just tweeting about cryptocurrency. And there are all kinds of talks going on about his involvement in the crypto space. Who are some of the other famous people that that are involved in this? That is the first follow-up question. The second one, just so that I don't forget, is you talk about more than 60% of the coins are like scam. So I want you to kind of shed light on that. How does one know if you are going into this? How do you know? How do you substantiate that a coin is genuine so that you don't get scammed by it?
Sure. So, few things. Number one, talking about the investors, you have people like Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban is an investor in cryptocurrency. The founder of Square, Cash App. He's all. I mean, they investing millions, 400, 200 millions of dollars on a consistent basis in cryptocurrency. And you have even banking institutions. Right now, we have different investment platforms that are now adding Bitcoin as part of their investment strategies for their customers, right? Because they're starting to see that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency assets are actually just that. They are assets, which means that their value over time will continue to appreciate, even though, like we said earlier, that the market is very volatile. Okay. I mean, there are dozens of people, even outside of the United States, that are heavily involved in cryptocurrency. Now, talking about the how to identify cryptocurrencies that are scam, there are different criteria which we teach in our mentorship program that people can look out for. One of the things that you have to look out for is the team behind this project. Okay, there's some coins that really, it can be an ordinary person, someone without any type of investment background, business background. They can just decide to create. In fact, if you wanted to start your own cryptocurrency coin, you can do that with just few knowledge or putting together a team. So it all boils down to who are the people running this behind this project. Okay. Number two, what problem are they addressing? Okay. Are they addressing any problem? That's just two out of the several criteria that we look out for before we get into a project. And once you've already done your thorough research, it becomes easier for you to make a decision. One of the things that somebody's saying is that Bitcoin is too expensive, which I quietly agree. Bitcoin is number one. I mean, there's no disputing that. And that's why the only cryptocurrency that most people know is Bitcoin. But like I said, there's over 9,000 more. So the key is knowing what to look out for to select some of these coins in order to maximize your profit.
And I want you to talk a little bit about, you have been saying, of course, Dipo, I will encourage you to follow Dipo on his social media. He does a lot of live streaming and he adds a lot of value for free. He does training, but if you can follow him on his social media by this name, Dipo Adesina, you will find a lot of value. But one of the things you've been saying in most of your teachings is that this is the biggest transfer of wealth in history. And you mentioned it in passing here. I want you to kind of explain what you mean by that.
Sure. This is one of those things that it has never been easier for an ordinary person to become a millionaire as we have it today. Digital, like cryptocurrency. I probably 9 to 5, they were able to invest in a particular strategy. That coin began to appreciate at a rapid rate. Okay. And as a result of that, that changes the whole. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You are kind of frozen a little bit.
Yeah. So I was saying that it's the biggest wealth transfer because every single person on this planet have the same equal opportunity to invest in the same asset. All right. You can be in a remote village in Africa, and as long as you have a smartphone and some funds on you, you can buy a fraction of Bitcoin. You see, there was a time where ordinary people like you and I, Seth, couldn't invest in some of these assets that we're talking about. that it was meant for the big names or people in the investment world. But with a click of a button, you can buy a digital asset and begin to build wealth right from the comfort of your home. And that's why I said that this is the biggest wealth transfer that I've ever seen. It will continue to be the biggest wealth transfer for years to come.
That's wonderful. You are still a little bit frozen. Do you mind logging out and maybe logging in again? It looks like we're having some internet connectivity right there.
Okay, let me do that again.
All right. All right, please don't go anywhere. I can see some of you are already asking some questions and making some contributions. So if you have any questions that specifically that you want Dipo to address about cryptocurrency, please just share your questions, and I will ask those questions, accordingly. So welcome back, Dipo.
Thank you.
All right. So somebody is asking, how much do I need to start investing in cryptocurrency? Do you want to respond to that?
Sure.
Or maybe before you even respond to that, I want to piggyback on something you said before you went offline. You are talking about ordinary people like us, right? Usually when you hear about some of this stuff like Forex and cryptocurrency, one tends to think that you have to have some kind of expertise. You have to have something kind of education level and what have you. Talk to me a little bit about that. Do people need to have some kind of education to be able to do cryptocurrency? Basically, what does a person need to start to get into this space?
The answer is yes and no. No, in the sense that you can go into a platform like Robinhood, Binance, Coinbase, .com, and without any direction, purchase any coin that you want that's available. Yes, in the sense that in order for you to know what to buy, you need to have some kind of understanding of how the cryptocurrency space works. And that's where mentorship, training comes into play. And I think that's where some of our students have been able to benefit maximally because of the mentorship that we offer. But technically speaking, a lot of people know Dogecoin. The reason why they know Doge is because it's everywhere online. It doesn't require any technicality, right? Just go on Robinhood, type in $50 worth of Doge, you buy it and you have it, right? But you can't necessarily do that with all the cryptocurrencies because you need some kind of knowledge.
Yeah, that is very helpful because many people, I think why many people usually lose a lot of money in some of these business ventures is because they neglect this aspect of mentorship, right? So even if you have a PhD and you are not an expert in this, you don't know it, yes, you can study just like some people do and lose a lot of money. But if you want to really understand this space, that is why people like Dipo are here so that they can train you. It's not just an hour interview this way that will make you to understand this. Dipo takes you through this cryptocurrency from the basics, from its history, and he helps you, to be able to get into this space and invest wisely and get maximum returns. So since this is a risky business, so to speak, the business is volatile, cryptocurrency is volatile, it is advisable that you have a mentor, you have someone that has been doing this with proven track record that can train you in this space. So let's go to the question that Eli Kerek is asking. Eli Kerek wants to know, how much do I need to start investing in cryptocurrency?
You can start with whatever you have. It's one of those things that is if all you have is $20, if all you have is $50, you can, if you want to buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, you can do that, right? It's just a fraction that you're buying. There's some coins that you'll buy that's even less than a penny. Okay, so you can start with whatever you have, but of course, when it comes to investing, is the more you invest, the more you earn, or the higher the risk, the higher the reward, and the less you invest, the less you earn. So that's pretty much it. But I did want to say this, Seth, that I am by no means a financial advisor.
Uh-huh.
One that I do is I provide mentorship and guidance based on my knowledge. And even outside of that, I strongly always recommend our mentees to do their research, right? Because, like you rightly said, um, we don't take personal responsibility for individuals' portfolio. Okay. That's why we put together a very thorough course and a program to guide you on how to become an intelligent investor. So just wanted to put that out there as people are watching.
Okay. That's very important. You have to take personal responsibility. Even after training, you have to take personal responsibility. Just like the same way that you go to college, right? You go to college and they train you, but they are not responsible for what you do after college. You may go and get a PhD from a university and still go and do some useless stuff with the PhD. You can't blame your school for that. So it's the same thing that Dipo does, and I love this. Uh, I love Dipo for this because he's very transparent. He's not going to deceive you. He's not going to tell you that if you start cryptocurrency in the next 1 month, you're going to become a billionaire. He doesn't do that. He's very transparent and honest and sincere in the way, he addresses these things. So one of the things that people, one of the misconceptions I would say about cryptocurrency, which is something I'm also learning, I've just started learning recently. By the way, I can say categorically here that Dipo is my trainer in this space. So he is my teacher in this space. But one of the things I've been learning about this space in cryptocurrency is the fact that, and I think many people misunderstand this, is the fact that you don't have to have, so for instance, a practical example, and I think Dominic asked that question, he said Bitcoin is too expensive, right? People have this misconception that if Bitcoin is currently, what is the current value as of today of Bitcoin?
$55,000.
$55,000. So when people hear Bitcoin, they feel, well, I don't have $55,000. They don't understand that you can actually buy a fraction of Bitcoin. You don't have to have $55,000 to buy one. $55,000 is the value of one Bitcoin, right? But you can have a fraction of that. Nobody stops you from doing that. Can you explain more?
Yeah, so let me give you a perfect analogy. Okay, I think this will work magic. So here is $100 bill. All right, it's safe to say that not everybody can own $100 bill, but from this $100 bill, you can break it down to a point where you can have $1 from this. You can have 25 cents. You can have a dime. You can have a penny, as much as you want to be able to own an entire $100 bill. So just because I own a $100 bill doesn't mean Seth can own 25 cents or $1. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it means to have a fraction of something. So you can have a fraction of $100 bill, even though you can't afford to own a $100 bill. So that would be the easiest way to kind of explain what it means to have one Bitcoin versus a fraction of a Bitcoin. And the same thing applies to all digital assets, even in stocks. One Amazon stock, I think, is like maybe $2,000-$3,000. You don't need $3,000 to buy Amazon stock. You can buy even $20 worth of stock of Amazon if that's what you can afford, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh. That's great. Keep asking the questions. I can see some of your questions. Cynthia is asking about the training fee. We're going to address that towards the end of this program. So Cynthia, just hang around. We're going to be talking about that shortly. I want you to also talk about emotions, right? One of the things you keep saying in your classes is that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, is not an emotional business. It's a business venture. If you are too emotional, probably this is not the right business for you. And you also, in line with that, you talk about the importance of patience. Can you clarify that? What do you mean by this is not an emotional business venture?
Yeah. Cryptocurrency as a whole requires extreme patience. You have situations where people can get involved in a particular coin. By the following week, they've made 200% profit. And you have some coins that might take you 4 years before you make 100% profit, right? It all depends on what projects you believe in. Now, for those who have what I call who are intelligent investors, they are able to think long term about a project versus short term. Okay. If you are day trading, you can get emotionally caught up in trying to make a quick buck. But if you're buying a coin like Bitcoin, for example, let's say to hold for the next 4 years, you're not concerned if Bitcoin drops from 64,000, 61,000 to 47,000, because you know that in the long term, based on all analysis and all the fundamental stuff going on, that in the future, Bitcoin could easily hit $300,000. So when you have that long-term thinking, you're not emotionally caught up by what's happening right now. Okay.
Mhm.
And the difference between, an intelligent investor versus a speculative investor. Okay. It's an intelligent investor puts money into coins that they're very confident in, that that is going to be around, versus thinking and hoping that this coin will be around for years to come.
So you have to be patient. If you want to go into this space, you have to learn to be patient and not be emotional about your investment. Dominic is asking a follow-up question. He's saying, if I buy a fraction of Bitcoin, their current markets, or does it mean markers? Markers that it will become more valuable than it is right now. He's talking about the probability, I think.
Sure, I get it. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, anytime you have institutional investors, and when I say institutionals, when you think of companies like Tesla, all right, that's an institutional investor. You can't be the second or the first wealthy person in the world, and you're investing a portion of your company's resources into something you don't believe in. When you have banks and other financial companies or whatnot, organizations investing into something, that tells you that there is value in this particular thing they're investing in. Now, let me share something very remarkable about Bitcoin. There can ever only be 21 million Bitcoin. And I need you to understand that. Which means that once 21 million Bitcoin has been mined, there is no more Bitcoin that will ever come forth again. Nothing after 21 million. So even if this planet still exists 500 years from now, there will only be 21 million Bitcoin. Now, here's what I need you to pay attention to. The law of supply and demand is in effect right now as we're speaking. You have an asset that everybody wants a piece of. And by the way, less than 10% of the world's population are even investing in cryptocurrency right now. All right, Seth? So that tells the moment everybody starts to wake up, we're talking about less than 10%. What if we get to 20%? What happens if we get to 30%? Now you begin to see the massive demand for these different cryptocurrencies. So right now, we're still looking at 50. Some people think 55,000 is too much. Wait till you get to 100,000. When we get to 100,000, some people will think it's too much. Wait till we get to 150,000. The reason is very simple, Seth. The law of supply and demand. You have limited asset, but yet you have billionaires, millionaires, laymen, people working 9 to 5. They all want a piece of this 21 million Bitcoin. Now, that's what's going to drive that is what is driving it, and that's what's going to continue to drive it in the future.
I read somewhere, or I heard someone say that there are projections that Bitcoin may rise, the value of Bitcoin may rise up to $100,000. Some people are even saying $300,000 for one Bitcoin. I don't. Do you want to comment about that?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's supply and demand. right? It's supply and demand. When there's low supply and high demand, that continues to propel the the price of that asset. And more importantly, Bitcoin is also a hedge against inflation. So people are wondering, why are all these billionaires buying Bitcoin? The answer is very clear, Seth. They're looking for a way to protect their dollars. They're looking for a way to hedge their money because COVID-19 has destabilized a lot of things. The price of everything is going up. The value of dollars is depreciating. So the only way to protect your money is to put it into something that really doesn't depreciate, but has strong value. And that's why we're seeing a lot of demand for cryptocurrency as a whole.
I wanted to talk a little bit about you are a Nigerian, at least by blood. So recently, the past couple of months, the Nigerian government made some announcement about cryptocurrency that was a little bit confusing for people. Do you mind clarifying what that was about? Can people in Nigeria still trade on cryptocurrency?
Oh, absolutely. Nigerian government didn't ban Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, you can't ban something that's digital, right? You can't see it, you can't control it, so you can't ban it. What they did ban was their financial institution being able to transact on different exchanges. So in other words, they don't want a situation where people are using their banks to buy these different digital assets because of the risk factor or other factors that we don't know about. All right, but I heard that they've actually started to change or reverse a little bit of that decision because they're starting to realize that this is the future. Okay, and if you don't catch on to the future, you'll be left behind. I think a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, even the vice president commented on cryptocurrency that there is a need to accept it because it's clearly the future as we know it, right? And we have dozens of students from Nigeria. I know a lot of people making serious money from cryptocurrency in Nigeria. Not that they're Nigerians, but they live in Nigeria. And I don't care what you put in place. You can't stop somebody who has a source of income from something and stop them all of a sudden, right? It just doesn't work, and it's not going to happen, So Nigeria is definitely I think I read an article that Nigeria did about $1.5 billion worth of cryptocurrency transaction. I think it was last month or thereabout. So how can you stop that?
Wow. That is so powerful. To know that Nigeria, by the way, just as you said, cryptocurrency is this is the future. I remember, I want to compare this. I don't know what you think about this. During the what do you call .com bubble, right? For instance, when the internet came, many people looked at it and kind of disdained it. They were like, "This is not going to be anything. Internet is not going to do anything." And all of a sudden there was the .com bubble, and still people didn't take it serious. And look at where we are right now. So I kind of think of I don't know whether my comparison is the same is in line, but I kind of think of cryptocurrency is still at the infancy stage right now. And this is going to be the future. A time will come, who knows, maybe 10 years from now, maybe 20 years from now, that if you tell people that there was a time that people didn't believe in cryptocurrency, that is going to be laughable. Will you subscribe to that?
Of course, because there are people that I call early adapters and then late adapters. Early adapters are people like you and I, Seth. We're part of this less than 10%. We see what's coming and we position ourselves before it comes. Late adapters say, I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see what this thing is not. They don't believe something is going to come out from this. They're very risk adverse. They don't want to take any risk. They're afraid of losing. So that mindset keeps them backward, watching. right? They see other people making money, but they're still not yet sure. I had a friend, one of my colleagues. He's heavy into stock, makes a lot of money in stocks. He didn't believe in Bitcoin until Bitcoin hit like 40,000. He's been seeing everybody making money, but when Bitcoin hit $40,000, then he became comfortable. Yeah, well, maybe this thing is real. Now think about that. You've seen Bitcoin go from 9 cents. You've been watching this steady growth over the past decade, but you only became comfortable when it reached $40,000. What am I saying? That type of person is what I call a late adapter, even though he's technically still early. But his decision was confirmed when Bitcoin price had already skyrocketed. Some people are not going to be convinced until Bitcoin hits $200,000. But you just don't want to be that person.
And nobody knows how soon that is going to be. I won't be surprised if in the next 2 years Bitcoin hits $200,000.
Very well. In fact, I thought, my projection as of December was that Bitcoin was going to hit $50,000 by December 2021. And the moment we hit 2021, everything just changed. So you can see how rapid this thing is happening. So you just don't want to be that person who get caught unawares.
Huh. Yeah, Cynthia says something profound here. She says many people don't believe in it, but that's fine. Which is true. That's fine. You don't have to believe in it. If you are still alive, a time will come that you will not have any choice than to believe in it. The only thing that Dipo is pointing out is the fact that because crypto is here to stay. Am I correct, Dipo?
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to take it away. It's here to stay. Think of cryptocurrency as the next, currency, global currency in the world. It's here to stay. So I agree with you, Cynthia, that you don't have to believe in it, but a time will come as long as you are still alive. Nobody will have to convince you. A time will come that nobody will try to convince you about it. Just think of this seminar if we are talking about money, the importance of having money, to believe in money, to believe in dollars. That would be absurd at this point if we are talking about the importance of believing in dollars, believing in naira or whatever currency it is. A time will come that when you are talking about people need to believe in cryptocurrency, there won't be any discussion like that, because at that point, nobody will need to convince you. Yeah. So people have been asking about trying to find out. So let me say here that the course that Dipo trains people, his training, the money may be a little bit scary for you. Is worth $10,000 for him to train. But because we are doing this, I said to him, not many people will be able to afford that. I don't even know what he's willing to give for anyone that applies today. So, Dipo, the floor is for you. How much will you charge my lovely, wonderful audience to be trained by you?
Sure. So, like you rightly said, when you look at value, right? Some people might think even $20,000 is too much for coaching or training. And I always tell people that what you're paying for is value, right? Would I actually charge somebody $10,000 who wants to just come in to learn how to make money? The answer is probably yes, right? But because my desire is to see people make money, not to, embezzle money from people, I try to be reasonable and see, based on what I know about this industry, based on what I know my current students and mentees are benefiting almost on a daily basis, what is a fair value for people, right? So what I'm willing to do today, like I said, I have, Seth is actually one of my mentees in a program that I'm running right now. And
you need to say, maybe you need to clarify that I just joined so that nobody would think that I'm already a crypto rich person.
Seth, this just joined our program with one of my buddies and I that we specifically put together a mentorship program where we have, bi-weekly calls. We go in depth into, how to build a successful portfolio and things of that nature. And Seth, how much did you for that mentorship program?
7,200. But
7,200.
that was a special giveaway.
Right. So, Seth did 1,700 for that mentorship program. Like I said, it's actually a 3-month mentorship program, intense mentorship program. But what I'm willing to do today, for the audience of Seth, is that I would do I would do about I'll do $1,200. Let's do that.
Really?
$1,200.
You have to refund my money.
Yeah, well, this mainly because this is for your group, right? This is for your people, right? Because if I want to, the reason and what you want your students to benefit from this. I mean, your audience, right? And like I said, it's about offering people value and also making sure that people get value for their money. Okay.
Wow.
This value is only this offer is only valuable for today. Okay.
Okay. Only valuable for today.
Yeah.
All right.
But for those decision today, anything outside of that, then we kind of have to revert back to $1,700. And like I said, trust me, the value of what you're going to get is going to outweigh what you pay for the coaching, the training. We also give out signals. We give you part of the group you'll be part of. We give out information on what to look out for on particular coins, when to actually get certain coins and profit from them. As a matter of fact, right now in my private group, I have students who are making significant income based on a coin that really just within the last couple of within a week has increased over 100%. Right. So as much as I say, listen, be patient in crypto, you can see significant transformation in your finances in literally a month. And I'm just being modest. I have students that have seen up to 500, 600% within a couple of months. I have students that have made $20,000 within 1 week. I'm talking about profit. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about value, those are things that you put into perspective and say, hey, is this coaching worth what is being offered? That's it, Seth.
This I can tell you, this is a very, very great opportunity for any one of you that is listening today that can afford. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of May. This offer only lasts today. So if you have the opportunity, I will encourage you. Just like Dipo said, I paid way more than that, and if I knew, I would have waited for me to host you before before getting into the program. But this is a very wonderful opportunity. I want to say thank you so much, Dipo, for that. How can people contact you for this? Do they need to use any code? Is there any code they can use for today for today's offer?
They can either, like I said, I'm very active on social media, so you can reach out to me on social media. You can reach out to Seth directly. I mean, actually, if you know Seth and you're part of this community, that would be a great idea to go through Seth that way. And then so when he refers you, I know that you came from his group. You can also send me a message on, if you want, I mean, whatever you think is best, Seth, I will let you, leave that option to you.
Yeah, if they want to contact me directly, I can connect them with you. But if you don't want to contact me directly, just contact Dipo directly. Just go to his social media. He has a Facebook page like this one. He also has a normal Facebook account with the same name, Dipo Adesina. So just go and send him. Don't go and start greeting. I usually tell people, just go straight to the point. He's a very busy person. He even had to sacrifice his time to do this interview because I had to plead with him to do this. So if you want to do this, just go straight to the point and say, I just listened to your interview with Seth. I want to buy this. Don't go and start bargaining. He's not going to change that price because that is that is a giveaway. So just go directly and say, I have my payment information. I want to make payment. Don't go and start saying, are you going to extend this to the next 1 month or anything like that? All right. So after today, this offer expires. Do you have any other thing you want to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in taking action. And as much as I have and I always like to say this with all humility, that I'm not here to get people to be part of my program or my coaching program or whatnot, mentorship program, but to empower you with information to make a decision. And the key and the beautiful thing about crypto is that if you have the time and you have the resources, you're willing to do the research yourself, these are free information that you can go and get, provided that you're willing to take the time to go and do it, right? There are platforms out there, I can even give them to you for free, but the key is you gotta know what you're doing. And that's why mentorship is so important. I have projects in Nigeria where I actually pay a consultant every month to manage that because that's his area of expertise. So I know that business is going to be successful because I am employing someone who is an expert in that field. So you got to pay for expertise. If you're not willing to do it, you got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to lose money in order for you to succeed, right? But outside of that, I leave you with this one thing: take action. Do not be a late adapter. Decide to be an early adapter today, like right now, so that you can position yourself before all the hurts come in. Because the moment people start getting what's happening in cryptocurrency, forget about it. Most of the wealth transfer we're talking about would have already happened, and you'll just be left with crumbs.
That is so profound. Once again, thank you so much, Dipo, for agreeing to be part of this and also for this wonderful offer. So this offer lasts until 11:59 Eastern time, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time today, May the 4th, 2021. Once again, thank you so much, Dipo, for taking time to be part of this.
My pleasure, Seth. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye.